Episode of Australian Story, the original band members open up about their meteoric rise to the top of the charts and the backstory to one of their biggest hits.
Tom Springfield was largely responsible for the major hit songs and, of course, the biggest hit of all, Georgie Girl. It was just extremely well written. It became a huge hit in America.
This is the #1 song.
And we are absolutely thrilled on Breakfast to be joined now by the Seekers lead singer, Judith Durham. Judith, good morning.
Oh, Michael, this is so exciting. Thanks so much for having me on the air.
Oh, it's great.
It's beautiful.
It's great to have you on. Did you know, let's start with Georgie Girl. Did you know at the time you were about to unveil musical fairy dust, I guess? Did you know how popular it was going to be?
Well, actually, Georgie Girl was one of our many hits. We'd already had our very first #1 with I'll Never Find Another You, and we'd had A World of Our Own and The Carnival Is Over, and then about in March or whatever it is, about 1967 was when Georgie Girl hit #1 all around the world because it was #1 in America, so suddenly the Seekers had cracked it absolutely all over the world.
Indeed. So tell us about the Australian Story episode tonight. It's the first time you and the guys have gathered together to take part in the TV documentary.
Oh, this has been extremely exciting for us. We've all got together especially for the Australian Story. It's going to be wonderful, us all sitting and watching it tonight. So we're thrilled, and on the occasion, actually, it was Keith's birthday when we were filming the show. So we cut a lovely vegan birthday cake, and we've had a great time during these last couple of weeks doing the whole show.
Okay, and has it prompted some memories? Do you sit back with your fellow band members and just go back to the early days, 1962, to where it all began, and just marvel at how big and how much of an impact on Australian culture the Seekers have had?
Oh, without question. We've relived so many memories. I mean, of course, through the years, we've had many times we've got together. We had our Silver Jubilee, and now, of course, we're celebrating our Golden Jubilee with a CD and a DVD coming out. But this is the very first time we were thinking it might be that we've actually done a whole show especially for television. It could be that, apart from when we very first had the specials coming out, when we did the specials going in Australia, Seekers Down Under, and the World of Seekers and those things. So they were right back, though, right at the early start of the 60s.
They were in the Australian Story episode tonight charts, the highs and the lows, and it of course focuses on the bands splitting up in the mid-60s. And it has a quote from you. You tell Australian Story, "I found artistically I wasn't quite on the same page as the boys." What did you mean by that at the time, Judith?
Oh, well, it was always true. I mean, I had a classical background. I was a classical pianist, aspiring to be an opera singer, in fact. And it was only after the big trad jazz boom that I started singing jazz and blues and gospel. And a year after that was when, by chance or fate or whatever the blessing was, it brought the four of us together just purely by destiny. And, of course, because of Athel's background in advertising, somehow or other we had our free trip going over to England, which is where Tom Springfield was put with us to write songs for us. That's how I'll Never Find Another You came about. But nobody expected it to go to #1. Nobody expected us to become Australia's very first international pop group.
And it must have been heady days back in the 60s, rubbing shoulders with the likes of the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, Judith.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we were on the Wembley show, you know, thousands and thousands of screaming fans. We could hardly hear the Beatles because of all the screaming. And there we were, you know, amongst all the Who. It was the who's who, really. I mean, the Rolling Stones as well. There's footage of us with them on the same bill. So it was very, very exciting times. But I never expected, you know, to be with the group a long time. It would have been wonderful if I could have been in two places at once, you know, because really the group's sound and popularity has never faded away, and that's what we're all so grateful for. And especially now doing the Australian Story tonight, it's just going to be so exciting seeing it all put into place by the ABC. It's been a very, very amazing time to be together with everyone.
What's it like getting back together with Bruce, Keith and Athalia? Is it like, you know, old mates getting back together, or is there some, you know, Rolling Stones type tensions between Mick and Keith and the like?
No, there's none. It's quite amazing. I mean, we have musical differences when we're doing concerts, because obviously you've got to put shows together and discuss things. But no, it's just like being with three old friends, and it's never been a different relationship. The boys have got great sense of humour, and they always treat me with such respect and love. I love them all very, very dearly, and that'll never ever change.
You said we're expecting this live album from your Golden Jubilee tour back in 2013 to come out as part of this. I'm asking this on behalf of your legion of Seekers fans out there, Judith. Any last performance, any last tour in the offing?
Oh, live concerts, you mean?
Yeah.
Do you mean in that respect?
Yes, concerts.
No, we've actually all said goodbye as far as that goes. Yes, no, we're not doing live shows, but that's why it's so important for the fans and for ourselves to have that wonderful legacy where indeed we're able to see one of our last concerts ever to celebrate our Golden Jubilee. So it's perfect timing, really. We're thrilled to be.
I'm sure the ratings will be off the charts on Australian Story tonight, Judith. You and your fellow band members leave such a fantastic legacy. Thank you so much for joining us on News Breakfast this morning.
Oh, bless you, Michael. Thanks so much to you, and lots of love to everybody watching.
Thank you, Judith. And you can watch Australian Story tonight at 8 o'clock on both ABC TV and, of course, wherever and whenever you want on iPlayer as well. She is fabulous, isn't she?
She's absolutely gorgeous and still in such good health, and just marvellous. So nice to see behind her, though, the twin aspects of her life, the Bechstein piano, and also the the CD player there as well, covering it all, and her life still involved so strongly in music, so it's beautiful. We'll take you